Thanks, Alice. Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. It's lovely to see familiar names. I'm hoping that this is going to be useful for them. But today's session is to look at some harnesses and products used for rehabilitation. So I've been with Silvalea for 22 years now, and over that time I've learnt a lot about the products, so their suitability, and hopefully that information I can share with you and you can then use it in your scenarios. I'm not a moving and handling advisor, so we're not going to be teaching that sort of technique. It's just to talk about the products, the features of the products and their suitability. So just to point that out. But we're going to look at some harnesses to start with, and then I've got a few stand aids that we can show. So to start with, I'm going to show you the information that's available on our website. So every product that we'll feature is on the website. And there's a lot of really helpful information now. And if Alice can sort of kindly bring up the walking harness. So this is what it looks like on the home page. There are photographs, there are descriptions, there is a data sheet with all the information on, an instructional video. So if we can just look at the data, this is the data sheet. So for each product that we'll show, there will be a complete information package for you. So for your reference afterwards. And the information includes useful points about the product, sizing, the safe working load, where to measure to determine which size is suitable. So that's one section. If we can look at the sizing guide. So here there's other measurements as well. So basically it's all there for you to help in one place. The little useful instructional video, and we're going to play this because sometimes harnesses are better fitted on the bed, and I have difficulty at the moment because I'm in a temporary room to show that. But if we can just show this particular harness to start with, and then you'll have an idea of what these promotional instructional videos look like. So basically, it's just images of how to apply. So step-by-step images, drawings, so clear drawings so that all languages can view. An easy product to apply. This is the walking harness, a standard walking harness that fits around the trunk, connects together with the clump clip buckles, arms on the outside, and then the groin sections come through. They are adjustable. There are protective sleeves over these tapes, which need to be just pulled back while you get the setting. And then once you've got the required setting, then you can put them back, slide them into position for comfort. So they click in and then attach to the hoist to enable standing. And then the tapes are adjustable for the required height. So just a little snapshot of that. We can just come back to the studio, please, Alice. So as I said, we are slightly restricted at the moment. I'm in a temporary room, which doesn't have much space, so I apologise for that. So we are hopefully moving into our new studio next month, where there'll be lots more room and I'll have a bed, etc. So it'll be much more helpful. But just going back to the walking harness. So the walking harness looks like this. It's in polyester with a padding under the arm. And then these are the sleeves that you can then either take off or just pull back to adjust the tape for the required length when you put it on. So as we know, harnesses are really useful. They're very useful for encouraging standing, all sorts of therapy, and they are an extra pair of hands. So once these are put on, then the therapist has really got the harness to help with all the support. So they are widely used to help promote well-being and assisting with exercising and gait training. And we know that the benefit of physical exercise is great. So, you know, there are a variety of types of harness for that purpose. I'm just going to put this around Judith. I mean, it just fits around under the trunk, as you probably worked out from the video. Just come back a little bit. And clunk clicks around. There's 2 buckles here, which are adjustable, and they click in position. And then the groin section comes through the legs, clip here. So quite straightforward. Can be applied fairly easily in a chair, because you've got someone that's got some core strength. They'll be able to help transfer their weight, so you can apply the harness and then attach to the hoist. So these can go on overheads or mobile if there's enough height. So that would depend on the size of the person, but quite straightforward. You just turn Judith around the back. Enough access if you do need to transfer to the toilet. So complete weight bearing isn't always essential, as long as someone can feel their feet, just to get them in a good upright position. So, you know, that can happen. Certainly, the support from this harness will give good trunk support. I would say if you've got someone that's very active, then think about, will they get tangled up? We can put covers on if you think they're going to rub their head. The sliders here adjust, and you will find probably on older styles there's a metal D-ring. The metal D-ring is being replaced with a plastic clip, plastic slider there. But we put that on because if you extend this fully, you lose that little loop there, and then it's hard to open up that tape. So once you've got your setting, push the D-ring or the plastic bar down out the way once you've created your loop. So that's why there's a bar or a D-ring. But we're trying to get rid of the metal so it's less clunky. So there will be, from now on, a plastic bar on there. So that is the walking harness. I'm not sure if there's any questions on this style before we move on. Alice, has there been any questions?
No questions so far, Mandy.
Okay, so that's one of our most popular. Thanks, Jude. The next one is this, which is our Rachel harness, which is widely used in schools because it's a nice lightweight harness and it does lots of things. So originally it was developed for an able-bodied little toddler whose mum didn't have the strength to lift them into a chair or the buggy. So Dad would put the harness on, and then when needed, then Mum was able to just attach these tapes to the harness and hoist up into the buggy or the wheelchair or the high chair. So from then on, we sort of thought, well, this might be useful in schools. And certainly it is. It's very popular. It's a lightweight little jacket that zips up the front like a waistcoat, and then you've got a section that comes through and clips in. And it's made in a lightweight mesh, so it can actually be put on. The tapes can be unclipped and left at school, and then when needed, they can be hooked up to carry out an activity. And we know it's been used for lots of activities. It's a great little harness. So if you think about someone that doesn't have enough strength to support themselves, so you know all their energy is taken up with trying to sit up, this can be put on with the hoist positioned behind them or to the side to take up the support, and then they can carry out their activity without having to try and sit up and concentrate on trying to support themselves. So in that situation, it's been very popular. Also from the floor, encouraging natural patterns of movement. So if you've got someone on the floor, you can gently use it to turn, to get them into kneeling, half kneeling and standing. So the harness can gradually do that without too many hands on. So it's reducing the handling a lot. So, you know, a great little harness for that. I'll take it off and show you, but just to point out the sizing, all our slings, our harnesses can go down to triple extra small effectively, up to extra large. Sometimes the larger sizes we tend to custom make because there may be disproportionate body shapes. But there's standard guides on the website if you look at those for sizing. Certainly with the Rachel harness, it needs to fit fairly well. You don't want it too big or too baggy, or, you know, room for growth, because it will just ride up and cause too much gapping and not enough support. So if your patient client doesn't fit comfortably into the sizing guide, then talk to us, because it may be that we need to either custom make it for you or change in between sizes in that way. But there is a slight new development with them, if you're used to these, whereby we've got clip buckles to the shoulders. So they open up to put on a bit like a tabard. So this is more helpful if you've got someone with contracted arms. So quite difficult to get a little jacket on with that type of situation. So the shoulder tapes now are on a little clunk clip buckle. But if they can just take it up slightly, Jude, I just want to show you what it looks like. I will take it off so we can see it, but I just want to turn, oh no, thank you, turn this round so we can just see it from the back. So full support here, full pants. It's a full pant type bottom, but it does come with hip tapes. And I know often they're taken off and not used. So they're detached and not used. But basically they're there in case you need to get someone into a prone position. So over a wedge or board, and then you can use these hoisted into the right tension to just help lift, and you can see then that you would get more of a prone position to lower them onto the wedge. So that's why they're there. But I do know that often they're just taken off and not used. But certainly, just to explain why we put them on, just lower them down, please. So just, I'll take it off so we can see what it looks like. Thank you, Jude. But I'll just unclip the tapes. And I hope it's clear, and I do apologise if the camera doesn't zoom in as much. We are hoping that we'll have that facility with our new studio, so it will be much better. The groin section unclips and then unzip it, and we can then take it off. You can apply it in the chair. You need to be able to get it under the bottom with a little bit of transferring of weight. I would say they need a little bit of tone. I would also say that, you know, you don't want someone that's got no head support, or is, because you need something to support their head. But then this is always down to your risk assessment. If, however, you think that this is fine, it's working okay, then that's your call. We certainly know the product's used for many different things, for hydro use into the pool. So certainly, you know, we can't say whether it's right or wrong, as long as you've thoroughly risk assessed for that particular transfer. But we can just ease out, take it out so we can show you it's off. Quite difficult with something that's not so weighted, but this is what it looks like. I'll take that hip tape off. And it just goes, if you've got the shoulder tapes connected, then we can put it on like a little jacket. Lightweight mesh that goes around and then zips up the front and pulls through here to clip in. Adjustable, we need to make sure that you've got it fitted so that the they don't sink into it. If it's riding up, as I said here, think about whether you've got the groin straps tight enough. If that's still happening, then it could be that it's too long, and that we'd need to look at the sizing. So just check on that there. But very useful, popular little jacket harness. Are there any questions, Alice, regarding the Rachel harness that we haven't addressed?
I think you've addressed everything. It was just if a child has very low tone and is unable to assist with the transfer, would you advise a more supportive sling? And then the
Okay,
other
well,
one
that's a
was
very good question, because then I would lead on to the next style that would give that extra support. So if I just move this out the way, I'm just going to just move this one so we've got a little bit more room over here, and introduce our Rachel, our jolly jumper. So the jolly jumper is this little one here, like a baby bouncer. So you'll see that it attaches similar to a baby bouncer, and you've only got tapes here at the top. So lots of freedom, much more freedom than the Rachel harness, the previous one. So quite nice, and there's very good firm shoulder straps. So that would help with someone with more, with poorer tone. So certainly this will give extra support. It's a bit more fiddly to put on, and it would need to be put on the bed, because you need to do a bit of rolling to actually put it in position. And I think maybe if we look at the little video, it will give you a much better idea of the fitting. So Alice, if you kindly just pull that up for me, and so we can see it
just
actually
loading it.
applied. Again, all this is available on the website for you as a reference after the session. So, please use it. So we can see it here attached. This is an overhead hoist here, and used for lots of activities, lots of family inclusion and things like that, standing, walking as a harness. Adaptation, you can use it. This one will allow for growth, because you've got lots of different settings. They're quite useful in that respect. So it comes through the groin. The side straps wrap around to fit on. Oh, we're going very fast here. But you can see the benefit of not having the tapes in front. So it makes it much more friendly. The shoulder straps, as I said, they go right over the shoulders through the setting to give the option of fitting. And there are comfort covers that you put on afterwards for comfort. So they go over the shoulders and they fit very firmly into the clunk click at the bottom of the groin strap. And then they fit behind. You take the straps around the back. So it's going to give more stability to the hip area as well. So wraps around firmly at the back. So let's just come back, and then I will go through it again with this model here. So I've got it on a little toy horse here, so that you can visualize actually a use for it. So on an overhead, again, it still would be suitable for a mobile. The tapes are adjustable depending on the height, but we've got good support here. I'm going to take her off the little horse. I'm going to turn her around. See the back. So the back section, it's got bones, full length bones to the back to give support to the back and the head. And then the clunk click here. Do you want to just come over this side so we don't lose the dummy? So the clunk click, as I said, wraps around the back to clip at the back. But if we just turn her round, we can see here that it feeds through the trunk section. to give the support around there. And then these, we undo just undo one side here. You can see how it folds over to clip in. So applying it, you would need to apply it on the bed, bring the groin section through, and then roll to actually feed the clips around the back. So we need to be able to do that. And then back to put the shoulder straps on. So a little bit more fiddly, but I think because of the extra support and the freedom of the front of it, I think this is possibly a really good option. And certainly we've done it in many sizes, from, you know, extra small for someone, an adult to stand, and adults that stand in the kitchen, as long as there's overhead hoist, you know, standing to do everyday things like washing up. We've also done one for a little girl that went dancing, so that she was able to go to a dance class, and she had the mobile hoist, and she was able to have this on and do a little dance class with everybody else. So, you know, really quite a nice versatile harness for you. So that is the Jolly Jumper. Let me just see if there's any questions on that one, Alice.
No, no questions. I just wanted to quickly add that on these videos we're showing, there is normally a voiceover, but obviously because I'm sharing my screen, you can't hear the voiceover in the instructions. So just to add that, that was all.
Thank you. Right, so I'm just going to move those out. So those are the harnesses that we've got, and then I'll now talk about some of our stand aids. So stand aids, we know, very popular within nursing homes. We've got a few options for you. So I'll just bring in, just reassess things here. And I've got, there are many versions, and can be a bit confusing, but we've got our most popular just to show you. So we know the stand aid is for standing somebody. So it is a stand aid and not a sling. So you must be really mindful that it is designed for someone that has some weight bearing, but maybe at times they need a little bit of help to get up. So it's important that, you know, you think about this just for standing that person, and they've got to have some core strength and balance to be able to support themselves within this sling, because there's not much to it. This is one of our most popular. It's the D202, very padded. So it's got a very thick padded roll in the middle, waist support with Velcro and a clunk clip buckle. So very standard option. So some stand aids have extra padding or extra shaping to the top, some to the bottom. There are many, but they will do the same thing. They are there designed to stand. I'm going to just put this on Julie so we can just see. And generally, you've got someone that can help. They can lean forward. They should be able to assist and cooperate. It's important to fit the waistband at the waist. You know, if you start it too high, it's going to ride up. You know, the danger is that actually it will ride up. So make sure it is fitted low at the waist and under the bust, and as firmly as possible. So the ones we have certainly have a clunk clip buckle which you can adjust as firmly as possible. Got a little stand aid here. I'm just going to bring it in so we can see. And you know, you've got to think about a few things here. We've got to get the right position of the stand aid. You've got to think about if someone has got any pain with their shins, their knees, then it may not be appropriate. Can they bend their legs? Can they straighten their legs? So things like that, you know, common sense things about whether it's suitable. But you know, easy to put on. There's colour options for the fitting, and we just put it on here. We also need to make sure that, you know, they can assist holding the grab handles, so that, you know, they can partake in the lift. And we want to stand them. So we want to make sure we get them into a good upright position. Don't transfer them or get them in a sort of recline position. There's a lot of pressure on the back then. So it's to get them up right. So if you think about, you know, if you're in this position for a while, it's going to ache, and certainly you'll lean back. So try and get them into a good upright position. So we just going to go up slowly. And also, we would put the brakes on the hoist on a stand aid. I'm not sure whether it's across the board, but certainly general hoists we'd have no brakes on, but on a stand aid we would put the brakes on. So Judith's come up. She's come up very well. Just turn her around. We also need to be mindful of the feet to make sure they're on the foot plate. I'm just going to just turn her around so we can see what it looks like, this particular style. So we've got it round the back. So now if we need to just bring in a bed pad, a commode, then certainly that can happen. So that's very straightforward. Don't know if we have any questions on that.
Nope, no questions so far.
Okay. So very straightforward. I'm just going to lower Judith down and then I'll show you an alternative one. It's very difficult to demonstrate with an able-bodied, and you know, naturally it looks easy, and Judith's very compliant, very able-bodied. So you know, you have to just appreciate that that's more difficult to do with an actual patient. But I hope that it will just give you the idea and the understanding of the products. So we'll just take that one off, and I will just show you an alternative. Hold them up, Judith. We can just hold up the other one. So this is a different one, which has a lot of elastication. So this will stretch and hug the trunk really nicely. It looks a little bit smaller. Sometimes they come up, they look small, but they actually stretch around. And it has a non-slip panel. So some will have different features, and this may be more helpful because then it won't slip on clothing and will sort of stay in position more than perhaps one without. This one also has our safety slot tape, which some of you may know from other styles. The silver safety slot tape works the same. It works exactly the same as a loop. It's color coded, it's the same positioning, but it works well on this style. So we've put it on this style as a standard, but it's a clever, lightweight tape. There's no loops that can get tangled or caught up in the hoist. It's streamlined, very strong. So just so it looks a little bit different, but it's called a safety slot tape. I'll just put this on, Jude, thank you. And like I said, it's got elastication, so it will hug very firmly around the body. 2 clunk clip buckles. That clip in. And again, fit it low and at the waist, and then adjust as firm as possible. That feel all right? Yes, very good. Arms on the outside. Bring in the, hopefully we can see this. Always make sure the knees, the knee pad is in position. It can be adjusted, and often you'll get a strap that goes around the back for security. So put that in position, make sure the feet are flat and the brakes are on. And these slots, we know it's on the first setting for this one. It on. And then we'll just do that very, very slowly. Sometimes you can tell if the stand aid is too big, because straight away as we take up the slack, it will start loosening off. So check that you've got it fitted low enough, and check that it is firmly pulled, because the body can naturally thin out as you take up the slack. So just be careful of that. But if you find that someone is slipping, then it may be that their core strength isn't enough for this type of stand aid. So there comes to a point when a full body sling is probably the next step. But we certainly know that people want to cling on to this because it will give them more independence. So we need to get them into a good upright position, as I said, whether we're repositioning or taking them to a different chair, then certainly that's an option. Let's just have a look at the back of this. Out the way. We can see how it's hugging around Judith, around her back. Here, the elastication here. There's handles as well for guiding. Certainly lots of access for hygiene transfers. So really quite nice. And I think the shaping is good on this one because it stretches around, and with the non-slip, certainly will not have slipping in like others. So that's the, well, it's we call it a Silsby, SILB. Very strange, but there's a, again, it's on the website, so you can see exactly what it is. SILB 360. Any questions on that one, Alice?
No questions, Mandy.
Everyone's very quiet this morning. So if for some reason that you've got someone that perhaps may get tired, so they have got good core strength, you know, we can assist them into standing, but the worry is that they may get tired during that transfer. There is an option of a transporter sling. So the transporter sling will give a little bit more support because it's got leg sections. So that our final sling, which I'll show you, is the transporter. So this looks like it's got a roll. It's got leg sections like a sling. So, you know, it looks like a traditional sling, general purpose shape. Quite a thick padded roll at the back, so for comfort around the back. And again, we still need to ensure that you've got someone with good core strength and they have some weight bearing. So it's really to get them into a standing position. But, you know, if there's a potential for them for just to lose a little bit of tone, then we can support them with the leg sections. It fits again round the waist. Always think about waist support rather than chest support. There's a clunk clip buckle. All the standard slings that we've seen are made of polyester. They wash to 85. They have a safe working load of 220, which is 35 stone. So all of our standard slings will have that safe working load. The leg sections are quilted on this, and they have so it keeps their shape a little better. And they come through like a sling. Feed them through. And then attach to the hoist. Then bring in your stand aid, position the feet. If we need to put the strap around the back. So we're going on the long leg, short shoulder. Lots of adjustment though, depending on size of the person, positioning, hoist. So there's many different stand aid machines. So consequently, there's lots of options with the tapes. So there's a lot of adjustability with the sling there. And it's basically working it out. Therapists we know are really good at working out problems. Once they've established the style, this is most suitable for Judith. We know she's a medium. We will use the red for the shoulder ones and the long for the leg, then document it. Make sure it's documented in the care plan so that all carers will be able to apply the right product and there's consistent care there. So this will then just stand, okay? Stand Jude. In the event if she was to lose a bit of tone, can you lose tone? Oh, are you losing tone? She's losing tone, so she's lost tone, but she's not fallen. So we've got the support from the sling there. But if you can just hold on, and then we'll stand you up. You put your hands on there. Okay. So we can see from the back. Let me just turn you round so we can see from the back what we get. Again, there's access there for hygiene transfer. If we need to, we can see how much hygiene. Can you lose tone now? Just sit back on yourself. Oh, yes. So if in the event of that, we just need to be really mindful of their legs, because that they could cause all sorts of problems with their shins. So it needs to be very careful in that particular instance. If you are worried, then I guess you would not use this type of product. Unfortunately, there's a lifespan on suitability. We know a lot of people have used this type for a hoist. Certainly, that's down to the risk assessment if it's suitable, but we know it has been used for that particular purpose. Sizing, all the slings we've seen will go from extra small. This particular one, probably quite rare we'd go down that size, but certainly if it's not on the sizing guide on the website, then please contact us and we will be able to tell you if it can go down that size. But you just need to talk to us. But that basically are all the products we were going to sort of show you today. Hopefully it's given you a little bit of a taster of what products we've got. Please, always use the website, always come back to us if there's a query. Like Alice said, we will upload the video once it's edited to our YouTube channel. So, please, if you need to have it for further reference, go to that channel and subscribe to Silvalea. But thank you. I don't know if there's any final questions. We've certainly got time to answer any more, if there are any.
We do have clip fixing.
I'll just check with.
We've just had another question. Oh, that's just for the products to use with the Oxford Journey, and also another question asking is the neoprene standing sling still made?
Okay. Yes. So this particular what we've looked at just now are all the slings that go on the loop type of hoist. We do the same ones with clips. So if you've got a clip type hoist, there's the Silsby one with the clip fixing. So the clip is slightly different. It's a stud that you have to lock on the clip. So again, it's on the website under the clip hoists that they are available for that particular style of hoist. The neoprene harness, if we do it, it's a very specialised harness, and we don't have it in our standard range anymore. But if it's something that you're used to, or you've seen or you know about, then I can certainly show you at a later date and do a session just to detail that, because it's really complicated. You can try if you go to the website and put in a description into the search. And if you put neoprene in, it will take you to all the other products we've done and the instruction video, mostly all of them. We are building that library, but it's not featured on the main product list. So we're trying to build the library of old products as well. So they will always refer you to those. If you've got a code or a description, then you can see those old products as well. But certainly if you want me to go through something more specialised, just please contact us and we'll sort something out. But
I've
thank
just
you very much.
uploaded the link for the Stand-Aid, the D202 with the clip fixings, and also
Okay.
the data sheet for the neoprene trunk and pelvic walking harness.
Thank you.
I just also wanted to add that we are doing a lot of these training sessions, but covering different topics. I know a lot of you have already signed up for the following sessions, but I will pop a link in below if you'd like to join any of the sessions. Just register your interest and we'll get the link sent over to you.
And if you have any groups that need a specific session that's tailored to their products, then please also contact us because we can set those up. So if you've got a team that just wants to look at a few different products rather than the general ones that we are showing, then please make contact and we'll see if we can arrange something for you. But thank you very much for your time. Thank you to Alice for all the admin and keeping you connected. And thank you. And hopefully we'll see you in the future. Thank you to Judith. And thank you, everybody.